Flavors matter, flavors save lives, and we're not going down without a fight. Not now, not ever!
What's up, insiders? Deucesjack here. I'm at the rally. I got my man Tim here. Tim, tell us a little bit about your vaping story and how you got started with vaping.
Honestly, it was just, I vape because it's a coping mechanism for me. I lost my son. And
I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
When he was young, and I've been having problems with trying to figure out something that works, and this helps that and helps food cravings at the same time. I use it for help with depression. It's the emotion of doing it and something to do, and I collect nods and rebuild all the time. Keeps me going.
Wow, man, you just, I got 2 boys, and you just touched me with that. Can't imagine the pain you're going through, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow.
Thursday was the anniversary of his death. So
wow. My condolences, man. I'm really, really sorry. I really am. But I'm glad you found something that helps you cope a little bit.
Yeah. Because I'm not even in for the nicotine. I can do zeros. I don't care.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. See, vaping is not just about nicotine addiction. It's about, it's a way of life, man. It's a way of coping, like Tim just told us, okay? And that's very, very important to a lot of people. And wow, I'm so choked up, it's hard for me to even go on.
Thing. The 2 people I know that are on insulin pumps, they use it to curb food cravings so that they don't have to bolus as much insulin for their pumps.
Wow.
So it's not just for vapors and nicotine. It's for other ways too.
So this is a life-saving technology in more than one way for a guy like you.
And for other people I know as well. I mean, if you take it away, even if you take it away from because of nicotine, you're taking away from other people that aren't even using for nicotine. So to put it as a tobacco device wouldn't be correct because it's not just for them.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're here to support us, brother. Thank you for coming out. I really appreciate it. Heartwarming story, really. Really heartwarming stories. I got Josh here. He's from Massachusetts. We're going to talk to him about the rally. He's just an everyday Joe that showed up to support vaping. Josh, tell us about your story. What got you into vaping?
Well, honestly, I lost a lot of people, a handful of relatives to smoking, cancer, and one woman in specific who saved my life died from cancer 3 years ago. And that was devastating to me, and I knew I needed to make a change. I have 2 small kids, and I wanted to be around for them.
You have 2 kids. How old are they?
My daughter's going to be 7 at the end of the month, and my son just turned 4.
Okay, and how long did you smoke for?
I smoked for about 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And when you transitioned over to vaping, was it something that you took to immediately? Did it take some time?
It took me 2 weeks.
Took you 2 weeks,
yeah.
And you were totally off
Done.
cigarettes?
100%.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, because I'm reading in the papers, I'm hearing in the media that flavors are for children. No. What flavor did you stop vaping with?
Peachy Punch.
Peachy Punch,
yeah.
Really?
Yep, Peachy Punch.
Huh. You didn't want no tobacco, huh?
I can't do tobacco flavors.
Why?
I can't do it.
Why? Tobaccos are for adults.
Yeah, well, you know, I never really enjoyed the taste of cigarettes. It was just one of them things that I did, and, you know, I've tried recently to do some tobacco flavors in case things go wrong.
Yeah.
And I can't. It makes me, it's gross. I can't handle it.
You can't handle it.
It's gross.
Because you don't want anything associated with tobacco because you feel like it's going to bring you back to cigarettes.
Right. I got away from smoking cigarettes, away from the taste of tobacco, and why would I want to go back to it?
On purpose.
Exactly.
On purpose.
Exactly.
With a conscious effort from an adult making a conscious decision.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how long have you been vaping now?
It's been about 3 years now.
It's been about 3 years. Haven't had a cigarette in that 3 years' time.
Had a cigarette in 3
What are you
years.
vaping on right now? What flavor are you rocking right now?
Strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake.
Yep.
And you don't look like you're 13 or 14 to me.
Nope, 33 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Interesting, right? Isn't that interesting, insiders? They've been lying to us, telling us that flavors are child appealing. I don't think I've met anybody here yet that's vaping on tobacco.
Nope, not that
I don't think I've met anybody here yet. So just so you know, that's a false narrative. Now,
100% false.
What do you think about the rally?
I think that this is great, man. It's awesome to see all these people coming out to support a life-saving industry that saved our lives and could save millions more. You know, it's a lifestyle that we've become, you know, attuned to, and we don't want to see it go away.
So basically, this lifestyle is so important to you that you took out your own personal time
Yeah.
to come all the way down from Massachusetts to come here and stand with your brothers and sisters
Absolutely.
and support vaping.
Yes.
That's how important it is to you.
Because I care about people's lives and I want to see them, I want to see people live. And, combustible tobacco is killing people and vaping is not. It's saving lives.
Josh, I couldn't have said it any better. I got Ron, he's from Baltimore. He made the trip to the rally in Washington, D.C. You can see it behind us, man. We're all loud and proud here. Ron, tell us about your trip. Tell us why you showed up.
Well, today I showed up because this whole thing means more to us than everybody thinks. Basically, I've been vaping for 2 years, and it was a shop named Deucesjack Vaporium in our area that helped save my life. They gave me my first vaping device, and I never stopped, never went back to tobacco products, and I'm happy right now. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see the Vaping Insider channel here, and it means more to us than what you think.
So you're an ex-smoker?
Yes.
You're an ex. How long did you smoke for?
I smoked for probably about 8 years.
8 years,
Yep.
okay. And when you quit, did you quit using tobacco juices or did you quit using flavors?
We talking about what I was smoking?
Yeah, well, you were vaping. What did you vape? When you initially quit, did you buy a tobacco juice or did you buy a flavored juice?
A flavored juice. I bought a flavored juice.
Why didn't you buy a tobacco juice if you like cigarettes?
I was just trying to get away from what really happened was my son came to me one day and he looked at me and he said, "Dad, when are you going to stop smoking? I want you to live." And after that meant more to me than anything. So that's what made me stop smoking, like completely. And I went I wanted to get away from the tobacco flavor in general. Did
you smoke menthol or regular tobacco?
I smoked to regular tobacco. I smoked Black & Milds.
Okay.
Which is a cigar.
All right. So you didn't want any association with tobacco at all.
That is correct.
And what flavor did you originally quit with?
I originally went to the one apple.
Apple. So
yep.
it's an apple donut flavor.
Yep.
That's what you quit with.
Yep. That's what
really?
I quit with.
But I heard only kids like flavors. You seem like an adult to me.
That's not true at all.
That's not true,
that's
right?
Not
the
true
media's
at all.
lying to
yes,
us, right?
Most definitely.
Oh, wow.
And I definitely want flavors to be around for a long time.
Because if you read the papers, it's only the kids that like flavors. I mean, I quit with vanilla custard, but I've had people tell me that I've never grown up. But, I do consider myself an adult.
Right.
I don't want to vape tobacco flavors either because they taste nasty, right?
Well, let me tell you one thing. If flavors are a point of being a kid, then I guess I'm going to be a kid forever. I would much rather have flavors than tobacco flavors.
And what are you vaping on today? What flavor you got today? Tell me.
I was going to bring my apple one, but instead I brought Grumpy Old Bastard.
Grumpy Old Bastard.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Like a caramel flavor.
I'm vaping on John Wayne today myself, which is a caramel, very slight tobacco. It does have a little bit of tobacco in it, but it's an RY4 tobacco, so it's very mild. But yeah, I mean, I just don't understand that logic when people say that the flavors are geared towards kids. Like adults don't eat Snickers bars, they don't eat Hershey bars.
Right.
Adults eat Twinkies, right?
We like Skittles.
Right? Look at me, I eat Twinkies, man. Look at me.
Me too.
So, and I'd rather vape a Twinkie now than eat it because now you can get the flavor without the calories.
That's right.
So you're here to support us. What do you think of the rally so far? What do you think of the turnout?
I think the turnout is great. I think it's great, and to see all of the vape reviewers that I've seen so far, I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of it, and like I said before at the beginning, this means more to us than what the public thinks.
Right. Yeah, I think the turnout is way better than I expected.
Yes,
it really is.
Definitely.
Unbelievable turnout and very well organized.
Yep, great speakers. Yeah, everything's great. Everything looks phenomenal out here.
I got Taylor here from Massachusetts. He's just an average, everyday Joe that vapes, and he's coming here to show his support. Taylor, tell us a little bit about your story.
So,
when did you start vaping?
So I've been vaping for about 3.5 years. I actually didn't only use it to get off of cigarettes, but I used it to get clean from heroin.
Wow, wow.
I am a coil builder and I'm an influencer on an Baffle app for Vapers. It's a community on your cell phone for Vapers only. And that gave me something to put my energy into.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Most certainly.
How did you get clean from heroin?
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
Cold turkey. So the time that I spent doing heroin, instead of doing heroin, I spent it building coils.
Wow, you're a tough dude, man.
I spent a lot of time, a lot of nights awake.
Wow.
Just spinning wire.
Wow.
Just spinning wire.
Unbelievable, man.
It
That's
was
some story.
The worst couple months of my life.
Now let me ask you another question. When you quit vaping, did you quit right away? Did you take to it right away, or did it take some time?
I dual use for a little while. For about 6 months, I smoked cigarettes before I went to bed and when I woke up. Throughout the day, I vaped. It took me about 6 months.
So you couldn't get rid of that?
I couldn't get rid of the
morning
wake
coffee
up.
cigarette.
No, the morning coffee was the most important one for me, and once I got over that, it was nothing.
Now, here's another question, okay? When you quit vaping, did you quit using a tobacco juice, or did you quit using a flavored juice?
I used strawberry shortcake.
Still?
That was what and I still use that to this day.
Okay.
Why?
I thought those are for kids.
You know, I'm a kid
Aren't
at heart,
they?
but I'm an adult. Adults are allowed to
Aren't
have
they for
strawberry
kids?
milk. Man, you don't have strawberry shortcake on Thanksgiving?
You mean to tell me you're an adult and you quit vaping strawberry shortcake?
31
the
years
media
old.
is telling me that that's all for kids.
It's not. Us
It's
adults
not.
like it too.
So
I'm
it's a false
31 years
narrative.
old and I love flavors.
Yeah, because I haven't interviewed anybody here yet that's vaping on tobacco.
I'll be surprised if you find a person
How do you like that?
that doesn't like
I think I got a
flavors.
better chance of finding a menthol vapor here than I do a tobacco vapor.
I think you're totally right about that.
Right?
I think
Right?
you're totally right about that. Tobacco is not a flavor that we want to associate with us. We want to get away from it. We want to stop having that flavor. That's the whole point. That's why the tobacco flavors are the least sold flavors on the market. That's why.
Yeah, but that's not what the media is telling everybody. The media is telling everybody, oh, the vapors will be fine. We're leaving them with menthol and tobacco.
It's because the media want to keep the narrative going so they can get people back to smoking cigarettes.
Because they're corrupt and complicit with the
point.
politicians.
They want the money. It's all about the money. It has nothing to do with public health. It has nothing to do with our safety. They don't care about us. They care about their wallets.
Now, how long have you been vaping now?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And it's become a lifestyle for you.
It's a way of life.
Important enough that you drove all the way down from Massachusetts.
9 hours.
9 hours to make sure you were here to support all your brothers and sisters.
I also
in
don't
vaping.
have a license, so I had to find a carpool to get down here. I
Look
had
at
to
that.
pay the money to get the gas down here. I had to pay for the hotel room for a ride.
You hear that?
I had to put a lot of money into this trip to get down here, and it's important to me.
Do you hear that, insiders? Do you hear the passion? You're not going to see that type of passion with smokers. When they went after smokers in the 80s, smokers just laid down and allowed themselves to be dehumanized.
That is something we will not do.
You're not going to see that happen here, man. That's why all these people are here. That's why we're here, because we vape and we vote, and we will not support any politicians that support any type of vaping ban. You guys will be voted out.
You work
period.
for us.
That's correct.
You know, we put you in office.
Funny how some of them forget that, right?
And you probably should be listening to the people that put you in office. You know?
I agree. I got Austin and Isaiah here. We're going to talk to them about vaping and why they showed up. Say hello, Austin and Isaiah.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, what's going on?
So, guys, where are you from?
Hampton Roads, Virginia.
Hampton Roads, Virginia. Okay. Now, you guys work at a vape shop, right?
Yes, sir. We are the two head managers there.
Okay. What vape shop? Give them a little plug.
Vapor Venue. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I think we still have a Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. 6 months ago, how were sales?
Pretty good.
Pretty brisk?
Yeah, it was probably at the time one of the better months. About 6 months ago, one of the better months. Typically about that time every year, though.
How are sales now?
We've seen a little bit of a dip.
Yeah, I bet.
We could definitely use a higher amount of volume coming through the store. We think just because of the headlines that are misleading is really driving down sales.
Yeah.
Have you personally had customers come in and say, I'm not doing that no more, I'm going back to smoking?
Handful.
A handful.
We've
That's kind of disgusting, huh?
We've had a lot of people ask about the headlines, and we've been steering them towards the right direction.
Right. So you've been educating.
Yeah,
Yes,
one of
that's the big
glories of
thing.
it. we're a really personal shop. We like to get to know people pretty well. So
Right.
One of our perks is we got people that come in and ask us questions versus, listening to the fear mongering they're doing through the media.
Okay. All right. So you think the government agencies and the media purposely conflated the issue of illegal THC vaping with vaping, regular adult nicotine vaping? You think they did that on purpose?
Oh, no doubt.
No doubt, huh?
They could have easily
That was
said
an
it
easy
was
target
THC
right there.
cartridges, but every headline you read is vaping kills such and such, but in reality you read the article and it says the opposite.
Now, what about the teen vaping epidemic? Do you guys sell stuff to teenagers?
Oh, no.
No, right?
Everybody gets ID'd at the door.
Even if you just
Everybody.
walk in the door, right? You get ID'd
Correct.
like most vape shops, right?
Your first time, your fifth time, your 100th time, you get ID. Now regulars know that. Most of them come through the door with their ID already in their hand.
But the
already.
media is telling me that kids are getting these things from vape shops. That's just a false narrative again, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I don't know any vape shops in New York that you can walk into without being 21. They're going to throw you out.
Exactly.
It's the same thing in
Every time.
Virginia, right?
Yep.
I'm sure it's the same way across the whole country, right?
Gotta be.
Unbelievable. What do you think? Where do you think these teenagers are getting this stuff from?
If I had to guess, it's the guys making a quick buck out of this industry, looking to get in, maybe not know too much about
I think
it.
it may be the convenience stores, the gas stations, stuff
Quite
like that.
possibly. I think that might even be a big help if, if it wasn't allowed to be sold in convenience stores like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of times the parents are actually getting it for them too.
Yeah.
I've seen that already.
But I think the convenience stores, they're not going to have the proper information. They're not going to let the people know,
They're
hey,
in
this
for
is
a
what
buck.
this is.
Yeah, they don't
This
know the
is how it's
product.
intended. And I think that's how it should be personally.
Yeah. No, they're not into educating. They're into making the sale and taking the profit. They're not into that at all. They're not in now.
Exactly.
They're not there to help. They're there to make their money. You know?
Right, right. Now you guys are obviously managers at your vape stores, at your respective vape stores, but you're also vapors. So this is a lifestyle for you, correct?
Big time. A big part of it was just the fact that I could see that I myself could quit smoking and help many people do the same.
Now, how long have you been vaping?
About 5-6 years now.
And you, Isaiah?
5 years.
Around 5 years. Now, when you quit, did you quit with tobacco flavors?
No.
No.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Those are the adult flavors. Why not?
Tobacco already tastes pretty gross on its own, and yeah. So if I had the choice, I'm not gonna pick the grosser of the two.
Yeah,
So what flavor did you quit with?
I mean, variety's the kind of spice of life for me. So.
But what do
I
you
bounced
remember
around.
your first flavor when you were like, oh, that's good?
Probably a s'mores by
Loaded?
that was by Omega.
Okay. And how about you?
Lunar Harvest.
Lunar Harvest. So
Lunar
you remember?
Harvest.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that one.
All right. I remember what I quit with, man. I quit on vanilla custard. When I first started, I tried the tobacco juices. Not only did they not taste like tobacco, they tasted nasty on top of it.
Yeah, and they're so much harsher than all the other flavors, and and you want to get away from cigarettes. That's
Right.
the point. I don't like it. If I taste a tobacco flavor, I get that cigarette idea in my head, and I'm like, oh no, that's not what I want. I want the opposite. I'm here to quit. I'm not here to stick
Makes
with
sense.
tobacco.
Makes sense. Now, you guys run a shop. What percentage of tobaccos do you sell? Is your sales 5%, 10%? Tobaccos and menthols. If you had to put a number on it, if I put a gun to your head and said, Austin, how much tobacco and menthol are you selling every month?
Menthol's up there. Tobacco flavors not so much.
No, about 5% maybe?
Maybe less than that.
Maybe less than 5%.
I think we have like 3 options.
But wait, let's clarify your menthol statement though. Are you talking about ice juices also when you put in menthol, or are you talking about straight up?
Mostly fruit menthols.
Right.
Mostly fruit
right.
menthols.
So that's really not
So including just straight mint, I would say easily less than 5%.
Yeah.
fair enough. That's
Absolutely.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like you know, a lot of people like a frosty watermelon, right, or a frosty blueberry, but the government's not. They're gonna say that's appealing to kids because it's got watermelon or blueberry in it.
And what's even more annoying is all these companies are making changes for the FDA per their regulations, and we're still getting the hammer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. Look what I found. I found a vaping politician.
To be.
Shell Hamill from Texas. She's going to be getting into a race to represent our rights in Congress. Am I right, Shell?
Yep, absolutely. It's about time. We
Yeah,
need somebody.
it is. It is.
We do. We need somebody to speak for us, to help to educate these guys on the science, on the background, the history, and I've been there from the very beginning.
How long have you been vaping?
Since 2009.
Look at
dinosaur.
Shelley's an OG, man. Check that out.
Seriously.
And what did you start out with? Did you start out with a tobacco flavor?
I started out with a tobacco flavor, and I moved into a flavor within like 3 weeks.
Within 3 weeks. And, you know, what flavor did you move into? Do you remember?
I do. Peanut butter.
That sounds kind of childish to me. You're not a child? You're not a child? The media tells me that only children vape peanut butter.
Yeah, well, you know how that is.
Yeah, that don't work out too well, huh?
Work out for them, right?
So you came all the way from Texas, not just because you're running for a congressional seat, but you came here because you're a passionate vapor, correct?
Extremely.
Now, what did you think about this turnout here of all your brothers and sisters?
This is fabulous. They have done such a fabulous job.
I think so too.
I mean,
think
really, this turnout is far greater than anyone we've ever seen, ever.
I agree, and I commend the organizers, United Vapers Alliance, for this.
They did a
bang up job.
Fabulous job.
They really did. Now, what district are you running in?
22nd.
22nd district. What is that? I'm not from Texas. I'm from Brooklyn. I got a little bit of a different accent than you.
Houston
okay,
area.
Houston. You're in the Houston area. See, in Manhattan, they call Houston Street, they call it Houston Street.
Oh, no, it's Houston. For sure.
It's spelt the same way, but for some reason we always call it Houston. So now, who are you running against? Are you running against an anti-vapor?
No, well, actually, yes. We've got Democrats, of course, but there's probably about 9 on the ticket. And I think that they're growing because we don't have to announce until it's actually today. It's the very 1st through December 9th.
Okay.
So, we have Democrats as well. So we'll know better how many, probably by December 9th.
Do you have a website you want to plug?
Yes,
Tell
I
us.
do.
Tell us about your website.
Voteshell.com, and that's VOTE, S as in Sam, C as in cat, HELL.com.
Okay, so you guys heard it, man. If you guys are subscribed to the channel and you're in Houston, Texas, I want you to support Shell here. She's going to go to Congress and she's going to be our voice and she's going to speak for us. It's very important. You support her in the upcoming election.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna need all the support I can get.
It was
from
my
all
pleasure.
the vape shops, everything. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for taking the time with me. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you for coming here and speaking to the crowd.
You guys are fabulous, really.
Fantastic. Guys, we're out of here.
Thank
me
you.
and Shell. Deuces.
Deuces.
Thank you. I got Mr. Greg Troutman here. He's a lawyer and a lone wolf vape advocate. And we're going to talk about some advocacy right now. Greg, what do you think of this?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Really?
I was surprised at the turnout.
Yeah, and it's well organized as well.
Extremely well organized.
Yeah.
And everybody's been great. We haven't had a single problem here that I could see. We haven't had the police to be involved. It's been great, and this is exactly what we needed.
Yeah. Now, you're involved on a national level with advocacy, on a state level also.
Both.
Okay. What state are you from?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Oh, good. I got a quick question for you then. This is interesting because I'm a little bit of a political junkie. All right. Now, Governor Bevin just lost his race by about 4,000 votes. Correct? Right. And he lost to an anti-vapor.
He did.
Okay. There are like 90,000 plus vapors in Kentucky.
Right.
You think if maybe a month or two ago he would have came out and said, I'm against the flavor ban, I'm for adult nicotine vaping, you think he would have cakewalked through?
Bevin?
Yeah.
Well, Bevin did not do a flavor ban. Bevin actually met with industry people several weeks before the election and said he wasn't going to do a flavor ban because he doesn't do knee-jerk reactions.
Right.
He is for freedom. He asked some very good questions.
Okay.
He was very well educated about the industry, about the products, about the high nicotine products being the most likely products that the kids are going to try to access.
Okay.
He even asked the store owners, he goes, before Juul came on the market, what was the maximum nicotine you were selling in your stores? And everybody looked around and was like, whoa, that's a good question. This guy knows what he's talking about.
24 probably, right?
Well, it was 18 for most
18,
people.
okay.
And when one of the store owners said, you know, I've had to go back to selling high nic products for people that are wanting to step off Juul, and he was shocked by that.
Really?
And he said basically, I want to work with you all to help solve this problem. And actually, in a debate several days later, a statewide televised debate, vaping was an issue.
And he didn't come out strong enough for it, or did he?
No, he came out swinging.
Right.
And he came out totally perfect answer. and it was almost like we had scripted the answer he had.
Right.
It was almost the talking points of exactly what we told him a few days before. And Attorney General Beshear, who will now Governor-elect Beshear, said, well, I'm going to bypass the legislature and impose tobacco 21 with executive order and ban flavoring.
Unbelievable. It's like what they're doing in New York. Governor Cuomo tried to wipe out all the vape shops with the stroke of a pen.
And you saw what happened.
Yeah.
It got enjoined.
Yeah, absolutely.
And fortunately, in Kentucky, we have a supermajority of Republicans in both houses of Congress, or the legislature.
Okay.
And so a 5,000 vote victory for Mr. Beshear is nowhere close to a mandate. I don't see him getting much of his agenda.
Well, all the other Republicans won their races in that state.
And the Attorney General is as strong as new rope.
Okay.
And we are going to try to get a meeting scheduled with him very soon to strategize about how we will deal with Beshear if he does try to do executive action.
Well, that's good to hear. That's really good to hear.
And we will fight it, and I will be the one probably filing that lawsuit.
Good for you, man. Thank you. Thank you for all you do, man.
So if Mr. Beshear wants to help make me money, then fine.
Now, do you think President Trump has softened his stance?
I think he's been told he has to soften his stance.
Okay.
I think his campaign has seen the polling numbers, and they know what thin ice that he's on with this industry if he carries through with what he had suggested back in September.
Right.
If he were to carve out flavored vape products in vape shops, I think this industry would rally behind him, and you would see him win in places that he might not be otherwise expected to win next year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And he would win Michigan by more than 12,000 votes next year.
Yeah, I would believe that. Wow. So, I mean, I think things are looking up. I think things like this rally definitely help. I think it turned out a lot bigger than I absolutely thought it was going to be. When I first got here, I got here like an hour early. I was a little disappointed, and then I just saw floods of people coming in. And
I've been doing enough vape shows to know how crowds tend to be in this industry.
Right.
I think that we got a wake-up call back in September. I think we've gotten a wake-up call the past few weeks about how serious this is. And when I said that, asked the people when I spoke, how many of you thought you were going to be involved in politics when you got into the vaping industry? Nobody thought they would be. This has become very political. This shows me that this industry is growing up and maturing. Getting into politics for industry is a natural part of growth.
Now, you know what's interesting? You look like you're right around my age, right? I remember in the 80s, when they went after smoking, they tried to dehumanize the smokers, right? They tried to basically make them like second-class citizens. You can't smoke here, you can't smoke there, right?
And they still do.
They're trying to do that to vaping, I feel like, but I feel like we're not laying down. We're saying, listen, we're just not going to have that.
They are, and they're changing their narrative. They can't call us big tobacco because we've proven we're not big tobacco, so now what they call us is big nicotine.
Really? That's the first time I've heard that, really.
I testified as an expert witness in the injunction hearing in Montana last week.
Okay.
And one of the lawyers for the state of Montana accused me of being basically a shill for big nicotine. And big nicotine was the word he used.
Wow.
And my response was, no, I'm an advocate for tobacco harm reduction.
Who are the players in big nicotine? I didn't know there was one big nicotine conglomerate of corporations.
I guess we're all big nicotine.
Wow. That's just unbelievable that they would coin a term like that.
But it shows that they have to change their narrative, that the narrative they had wasn't working, so they have to change the how they call it, what they call it, the names they use to get their point across.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I don't think they're winning on the child epidemic thing either. I think finally people are starting to realize that it's an enforcement and parenting issue, not a government issue.
Well, and I know in the lawsuit in Montana, the hearing last week, one of the local pediatricians who's on the board of the Montana chapter of American Academy of Pediatrics testified, and she was asked, if it was to be made illegal, proposed to be made illegal for adults to provide vape products to children, would you support that? And she says, I really don't think I can give an answer one way or the other.
The kids are going to do it no matter what.
But that's an easy yes. If you're a healthcare advocate, that's an easy yes. And when she said that, and the judge looked at her like, lady, are you crazy? And you could tell the state's lawyers were sort of like, yeah, wrong answer. They knew that she'd given the wrong answer. And we just sort of put our hands in our faces in our hands and like, oh, geez.
And people like this, these types of people that are passionate about it, they're not going to stop vaping if you ban it.
No, they're going to go back to these people started doing do-it-yourself.
Right.
They're going to go back. What's going to happen is the maturity of this industry that we've seen the last 6-7 years, it's going to circle back to where it started with people making it on their own.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. People are going to, and then so many people are going to start making it on their own and get the bright idea of selling it, and then you're going to have an unregulated black market.
Like what we had when this industry first started.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, you know, I was interviewed by NPR earlier.
Okay.
And was talking about how this industry, when it first started, how it started, and people. I can remember when people were making it in their stores or making it home and bringing it to the store and selling it. We've got now people with $500,000 plus clean rooms that are ISO certified. You know, you're going to get away from that and go back to what you had before. That makes no sense.
Yeah, the illegal drug dealer making THC cartridges isn't doing it in a clean room. I can guarantee you that. I don't even want to know the conditions
and
those
that's part of the problem with why we're having the lung illnesses, because they don't purify the THC oil.
Right.
You get all the impurities out, all the pesticides, anything sprayed on it.
Right.
It's still in there.
Unbelievable. It's just incredible. Well, I want to thank you for all that you do for this industry, man. Thank you very much for spending some time with us. I definitely appreciate it.
Glad to do it.
All right. You've seen Deucesjack and Greg Troutman here at Vaping Insider. We're at the rally in DC. This man fights for us. Make sure you show him some support as well. Deuces.